Creating your first editor plugin. For your first editor plugin, ULL, add a button to the toolbar that toggles the visibility of a selected node. Plugins need 3 things to work. 1. They need to be in a folder named Add-ons in the root of the project. 2. They need a file named plugin.cfg containing the metadata. 3. They need at least one script that derives from editor plugin. Thankfully, Godot makes it easy to create new plugins as it's built into the editor. To get started, open the project settings via Project Settings in the top menu. Now select the Plugins tab and you should see an empty list. Now click the Create New Plugin button and the Create a Plugin dialog window will pop up. Godot will create the necessary files for you based on the information you provide. Pretty neat. Let's fill the plugin name with Visibility button. Next, click the Create button to let Godot create the necessary files for you. This will also automatically open the visibility_button.gd script in the script editor. Let's taking a closer look. The visibility_button.gd script that Godot generated for you contains the following code. The @tool annotation turns a regular script into a tool script. This means that any code in the script will be executed in the editor. This is powerful, but it also makes it easy to break entire scenes when not careful. All editor plugins must inherit from editor plugin. This class comes with a ton of useful functions to access and edit Godot's editor. The _enter_tree function is called when you activate the plugin. This where you set up all needed variables and references for later use. The _exit_tree function is called when you disable the plugin. This is where you clean up all references. For the visibility button plugin, you won't need the enter tree and exit tree functions, so can delete them. You'll be handling the initialization and cleanup with other functions. Now add the function named handles. Godot calls the handles function when you select an object. The object class is the base class for all other classes in Godot. This function returns true if the selected object can be handled by your plugin. In this case, the plugin only edits nodes, so it returns true if the selected object is a node class or derives from it. You'll need to keep track of the selected node yourself, so add a new variable above the handles function named node to edit. With this variable in place, add the edit function below the handles function. The edit function is called by Godot right after the handles function returns true. It requests the editor to edit the given object, and it's the perfect place to store a reference to the selected object. Here's an overview of what's happening here. We store a reference to the selected object for later use. To check if this code is working correctly, add a temporary print statement at the end of the edit function. Now save the script and try selecting some nodes in the scene tree. You should see the name of the selected node in the console. As you can see, the plugin already works. Note: when you select a root node, like main in this case, the console will call edit twice. Thankfully, this won't affect the functionality of the plugin. Now remove or comment out the print statement you've added and save the script again. The last function to bring it all together is the make visible function. Add it below the edit function. Like the edit function, Godot calls the make visible function after the handles function returns true. It handles the showing and hiding of the plugin UI. It also gets called when disabling the plugin. When showing the button, you'll create it and add it to the toolbar. When hiding the button, you'll remove it from the toolbar and destroy it. This is an alternative to using the enter tree and exit tree functions for initialization and cleanup. Here's the code above in more detail. 1. The make visible function gets passed a Boolean value, visible to tell the UI to show or hide. 2. If visible is true, add the button to the toolbar via the Add Button function. 3. If visible is false, remove the button from the toolbar via the Remove Button function. Adding the button. Instead of using the editor to create a button, you'll do so by code. To get started, you'll need a variable to store a reference to the button. Most of the code in Add Button is creating the button and setting it up. Here's a breakdown. 1. Check if the button already exists. If it does, return and don't do anything. 2. Create a new button and set its properties. Set the text of the button to toggle visibility. Disable the button's focus mode so it doesn't steal focus from the editor. 4. Add the button to the toolbar using the Add Control to Container function. This function takes two parameters, the container to add the button to and the button itself. Next up is defining what should happen when you click the button. This is the easiest part. It's the same code as you'd expect to use in a game. Add the function below. This changes the visible property of the selected node to be the opposite of what it was before. With the code you have set up now, you can already test out the plugin. Open the Project Settings menu and restart the plugin via the Plugins tab by toggling its Enable status off and on. Next, open the 2D screen and select any node. You should see the button you defined above appear in the toolbar. When you click it, the selected node gets hidden or shown depending on its current state. Pretty neat.